Hi everybody, and thanks again for taking time out to watch this video. Today I have with me Pam Jutlla, who is a master practitioner of Reiki. She's also a teacher of Reiki. She works also for the NHS, and she does hypnotherapy and psychotherapy. So she's a combination of lots of different things. And today we're going to be talking very much about the subject Reiki. So Psychotherapy versus Reiki, as you can see in the title. So we're going to learn about what the difference is, how it can help people, and to give you, the viewer, a bit more information and background of what Reiki is. I first came across Reiki back in 1990. I was doing my NLP practitioner training, and at the time I was having a lot of pain in my right leg, in my right hip, which had been going on for a couple of years previously. And one of the students on the course was a Reiki Master, and she said to me, "Would you like me to do some Reiki on your leg? To help get rid of the pain?" And I didn't have a clue what Reiki was, and I said, "What is Reiki?" And she turned around and said, basically, it's an energy by kind of putting your hand on people and allowing the energy to flow through, and it can heal. And I thought, well, why not? Give it a go. The worst thing that can happen is nothing. So let's give it a go. And so we did. It was about an hour treatment, and I was totally tranced out. Without one word of hypnosis being mentioned, I was in an incredible deep trance. But I can tell you from that day on to this very day today, I have never had that pain again in my leg or my hip. So I'd always been intrigued by it, even though I'd never learned it. What I have noticed that, like you yourself, Pam, a lot of people who do hypnotherapy or other different types of psychotherapy do have Reiki tied to their bow. It's another method that they also use. So there you go. That's a little bit of background on me and my experience with Reiki. So welcome, Pam. Thank you for taking time out to do this interview. So the question, what a lot of people are thinking that don't know anything about Reiki is, what is Reiki?
So Reiki is an energy balancing treatment. The founder of Reiki was Dr. Usui, who studied religion, psychology, and medicine. And it was during a meditation course, a 21-day meditation course on Mount Karuna, which is a holy mountain in Japan. So while he was doing the meditation course was when he was attuned to this amazing Reiki healing energy. There's a variety of different meditations he did while he was on this course. One of them was standing under a waterfall with the water activating his crown chakra. So while he was doing meditation, prayer, chanting, that is when he received this amazing Reiki energy. So a beam of light went through his crown chakra, which opened up his crown chakra during the attunement, his heart chakra and his palm chakras. So he then went on to run his own clinics and also to teach Reiki. So that's where it originated from. So Reiki is just a natural healing process energy. It's universal life force energy. So we have energy flowing within us. We have energy flowing around us. So during a session, so for example, when I'm working on a client, I'm just a channel. So the energy is flowing through my crown chakra, which is the universal life force energy, out through from the palms of my hands. And then I work on the chakra point. So it's basically going wherever, the client has the blocked energy or wherever it needs to go. So it strengthens the immune system, allowing the body to heal, balance. It helps on an emotional and a physical level. and also if there's any spiritual blocks as well, it helps with that.
Okay, so that's actually going to come on to my next question. What are the benefits of Reiki? So, you talked about the immune system, which is very handy, to have a good, strong immune system. You want about unblocking emotions. So, what other type of thing can Reiki be beneficial for?
Yeah, so Reiki helps with mental stress and physical problems as well. So it helps with anxiety, depression, inner child healing, weight loss. What helps with weight loss? It helps with post trauma. So the list is endless, really. It helps on so many levels. So. Spirit, like I mentioned before, spiritual block as well. If somebody feels that when they're meditating they don't quite feel spiritually connected, the Reiki will help, setting the intention. It will help with somebody to develop spiritually as well.
Okay, use the word blockage, and so what it's helping you to unblock. So that very much like hypnotherapy and various other types of psychotherapy, that they're hoping to unblock where the emotional blockage is. Yeah.
That's right.
So it's kind of similar to what I do and what other psychotherapists do and yourself do when you use other methods to unblock emotional blockage.
It's the difference probably with hypnotherapy, psychotherapy, and like with the Reiki, that with the Reiki, the client sets the intention of what they want the healing for, and so they're just lying down, relaxing, listening to relaxing music. So I'm actually tuning in and picking up where the blocked energy is. So I'm guided where the block is, obviously to remove the blocked energy. Yet where with obviously hypnotherapy, psychotherapy, the client's very much so working with the therapist and working together to remove the suppressed emotions. But with the Reiki, the client is relaxing at the time. So I'm kind of like guided to where I need to work, which chakra the energy is blocked in. And then obviously I give the feedback to the client after the session.
Okay. So you talk about the intention, so it's a bit like the outcome. Is that correct? Knowing what the outcome.
So like that's it. What.
Okay.
Bit like the hypnotherapy. We always ask. What it is it what the client wants to work on. So same with intention. It's like, for example, somebody might come with, for pain management, that they've got pain in their neck, their back. So we set the intention for that. And also for healing and balancing. So during that session, even though they've come for for pain management, it'll often go into the emotional block. So what is the root of the problem? So it could be something that happened 20 years ago, and they suppressed emotions due to a traumatic situation they went through, and then it's obviously manifested into this really bad back pain, neck pain, and then so by having the healing and working on the root of the problem, it's helping them on a physical level as well as emotional. So that it's linked to that pain often is always linked to an emotional block.
Yeah. Okay. So and what about when, like with hypnotherapy and psychotherapy, quite often once someone have made changes in one area, it kind of creates that ripple effect where other areas of their life just automatically change. Is that the same kind of thing that can happen doing Reiki?
Yeah, absolutely. Just giving an example here, if I have somebody come that has a repeated pattern of kind of like, having relationship problems, and they seem to keep meeting that same type of person again and again, and they're not quite moving forward. So it's obviously about, one, they haven't healed from a past, a past relationship, or it can often be inner child healing. So we go into exploring the root of the problem, and sometimes it can be inner child healing, which is kind of stopping that person from trusting and moving forward. So once we go back to healing the root of the problem, it obviously helps them in the present. So whether it's inner child healing or whether it's a past relationship that they've not quite got over the hurt. And once we work on that, I've seen it with so many of my clients, they let go of the pain, the blocked energy, what's been holding them back, and they move forward. They start to build that relationship up within themselves, which then helps them to attract into their life somebody on their wavelength. And they manifest that person into their life by obviously letting go of what's been holding them back, and also believing that that they are worthy and to be in a loving relationship. So it's about obviously them building that relationship up within themselves as well, but they've only been able to do that once they've let go of the baggage, the blocked energy that they'd been holding on to. So so it makes a massive change on so many levels.
You talk about getting to the root of the problem. So very much like hypnotherapy and a lot of psychotherapy methods, it's about getting to the root of it, right back from when the imprint happened of the problem, and changing it from that level. So it's not just about healing the present moment, it's about also clearing out what the imprint was back then. Absolutely. So it didn't just cut the weed down in the garden, it gets down to the root of the weed and rip them out as well. Yeah,
and you probably know yourself with, obviously, when you're seeing your clients, and often when a client comes, they don't even think that the root of the problem could be 10 years ago or 20 years ago. They just think it's something to do with like they've had something that's happened like recently. So often a lot of the clients are shocked that it's kind of like, gosh, wow, that I've been holding on to so much without realizing. And obviously it's about removing, going down to the root of the problem, and not just kind of working just on doing a quick fix on the surface.
And that's just all done through using universal energy working through you into them.
So the way it works is that, like I said, they set the intention, I start the healing, I work on the chakra points, and through the work I'm guided as to where I need to go, where the blocked energies and what it's actually connected to. I suppose doing it for so many years, it's kind of like I suppose that intuition has built up within me to kind of like help and sense where the blocked energy is. And like I said, and then when you give the feedback to the client, they're kind of quite taken back a lot of the times that that they thought they had dealt with that problem, but clearly they were still holding on to it.
That's interesting to say that, because when I had my Reiki all those years ago, some of the information she was giving me afterward was spot on. Stuff that she picked up, and again that kind of threw me a bit. I thought, wow. So yeah, I can relate to Ben. I've spoken about my personal experience and how it helped me. What about you? Have you had Reiki done on you, and do you have any personal experience with how Reiki had helped you in any way?
Yeah, so I've been offering Reiki for about 14 years now. So it was about 14, 15 years ago when I first had my Reiki treatment. It was I had a really bad back. I'd been involved in a road traffic accident, and I'd never heard of Reiki, but one of my friends mentioned about Reiki, and I just instantly just felt really drawn to the word Reiki. So I
Right.
had a Reiki treatment, and I was amazed at obviously how, less the pain was, but also how much lighter I felt. I just felt like as if like a burden had been lifted. I felt so lighter in myself. And then I had a couple of sessions, and I just kind of, really felt drawn that I wanted to learn about Reiki. So
Okay.
there's 3 levels of Reiki. So you got your level 1, you got your level 2 is the practitioner's level, you got your master's level, and then the teacher's level. So the level 1 is all about you. It's all about you working, on yourself. And to me, it's all about like building that relationship up within yourself. And for me, it helped me to remove a lot of blocks. It helped me to, where at that time in my life I kind of felt quite stuck. It really helped to heal a lot of things from the past and be able to move forward. For me, my level 1 was like a life-changing experience. Really, it was one of them courses that just completely, to me, changed my life.
Yeah.
And then went on to do the level 2, which is the practitioner's level, which then I was able to work as a therapist offering Reiki treatments. But I feel because I'd worked on myself so much with my level 1, I was then able to help others, because they say, don't they, until you've obviously worked on yourself, you can't really help.
Yeah, absolutely, totally agree. Yeah.
So I went on to master's level and the teacher's level as well. So it's about trusting, it's about trusting the process and trusting in the energy. And one of the other ways it helped me was a few years ago. I had a cyst in one of my ovaries, and I went for a scan, and so I was told I was going to have another scan in 2-3 months' time. So I thought, I'm going to do some work on the cyst, through Reiki visualization and meditation. And I've read, you're probably aware of Louise Hay. I've read a lot of her books, and one of her books is amazing books is I Can Heal My Life. And in that book, she talks a lot about this, visualization and healing, and that we have the power within to heal our body. So I did the visualization, visualized the cyst, shrinking, visualized sending the healing to that area. And also she mentions in the book that, if there's a part of your, if there's an imbalance in your body or a block, treat it like a poorly little child, send it, love and light. So I did that as well. So, sending pink, she mentions about sending pink, healing, loving light. And then when I went back for my scan, it had completely disappeared.
Wow.
Normally cysts grow, and I do believe that because I did that visualization every night, sending the healing, sending love and light, and that's what helped to get rid of that cyst. So over the years I have, if I've had aches and pains or I've had other problems, I've always done the visualization, done self Reiki treatments, as well as obviously have treatments. I love having my treatments, but being able to have that healing energy there, being able to kind of connect with it, and any time that I need to, so it's for me, I can't imagine my life without Reiki. And doing the Reiki course then made me want to learn other therapies as well. I went on to do reflexology, crystal healing, Indian head massage, hypnotherapy, psychotherapy. So for me, Reiki just opened up the door to want to learn about all the therapies that help to heal.
That's very interesting, because that's going to come on to the next question. I'm going to ask you about your hypnotherapist. You do psychotherapy. Is Reiki something you can combine with other type of therapy? For example, if you're doing regression therapy on somebody, could you go in and start doing Reiki, or vice versa?
Yeah, so I combine Reiki a lot with hypnotherapy, EMDR, EFT, regression. Often, for example, if I have a client come to see me for a Reiki session, and they've got, you know, real deep suppressed emotions, or there's, you know, like in a child trauma, often, even though the Reiki, you know, is powerful and it's amazing, Reiki on its own isn't enough at times. So after a session, when I give the feedback to the client, I always mention to them, you know, that I feel that, you know, in the next session, combining it with psychotherapy or hypnotherapy will help them to release that block, and they are always open to having combination, you know, combined Reiki psychotherapy. So the two together, from my experience, are very, very effective. It's always a real powerful session. So it just helps to speed up the healing process, I find. So yes, the two work together really well.
Okay. So what about children? Can you do Reiki on children? Is that something
Yeah.
you do?
Yeah, so I've worked with children, very young children and teenagers as well. So with very young children, you know, like they're a year, 1 year, 2-year-olds, it's quite difficult for them to stay still, you know, while receiving the Reiki treatment. So often I do distance healing, which distance healing is just as effective as hands-on healing. The difference just is with distance healing that I'm sending out the healing to that person by setting the intention, using the Reiki symbols. So I spend the same amount of time that I would do when I'm doing hands-on healing. So in the distance healing session, I'm focusing on that person, sending out the healing, connecting using the Reiki symbols. And then I would give feedback, for example, if it's a child, to the parent after I've done the healing. So with distance healing, you know, how does it work? You know, on an energetic level, we are all connected, aren't we? Often we be thinking about somebody, and a couple of days after or the day after, we'll get a text or we'll get a call from them. Sometimes, I mean, I've had a dream about somebody, and then a few days after I've heard. So on an energetic level, you know, we are always connected. So with this,
Carl Jung talked about the collective unconscious.
That's right.
So that makes sense. That makes total sense. Okay.
That's the healing. You're able to connect and send out the healing. Obviously, when you're doing the Reiki course, you're taught how to connect using the Reiki symbols. So yeah, with children, I do a lot of distance healing. I do see children as well, as I mentioned. So a few years ago, I saw a 4-year-old. She had real behavioural problems. I did a Reiki session, and then again, I felt, you know, I felt drawn to that she would really benefit from having the Reiki and psychotherapy. So we did surrogate EFT, which, you know, surrogate EFTs, where, for example, so with this child, I got the child sit on the mother's lap, and then the mother was tapping on behalf of the child. So we were working through all the fears and the blocks and everything, and it was what we got from the session was that while the mother was carrying the child when she was pregnant, she was going through a real traumatic time with a relationship. So the child absorbed all that energy. So the child very fearful. So while doing the session of the Reiki combined with the Reiki and the surrogate EFT, it removed the fear, the blocked energy. So after we did about 2 sessions, and after that, you know, the mother was amazed at how, you know, much of an improvement, you know, the child had such behavior problems, and after that, you know, she was just so light and like a happy child. And in fact, she'd done me a testimonial, which is on my website, because she was just so amazed by, you know, the EFT, and she just said, you know, and the Reiki, and she, you know, she said she wished she'd heard about it earlier on. But yeah, So yeah, it really was a little
Okay.
miracle for her. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
That's interesting to know, and good to know that you can do it on youngsters because this last year with COVID and lockdown, the mental health rate has gone sky high with all age groups, but certainly the youngsters. So that's interesting to know that you can utilise with children as well. That's really good. By the way, if anybody is interested in having Reiki, Pam's details will be in the description below. Or if anybody's interested in learning it, Pam teaches it. So again, all her details will be in the description below. And if you like this video, click on the like button, share it, and if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, click on the subscribe button. And because I will be uploading more videos now and in the future on all different subjects to do with mental health and well-being. So Pam, the other thing you talked about how you healed past events and unblocked things from the past and that. One of the things that, as you know, we do in psychotherapy and hypnotherapy is we have to know what the client outcome is and what they want to be, where they want to go. Can Reiki do that as well? Kind of program to have the future they want, mentally and emotionally.
Yeah, so with a Reiki session, when they're setting the intention, we would set an intention for, let's say if somebody had an interview in a week's time and they wanted a positive outcome, and obviously it was a job that they really wanted, we can through the intention we can program the energy to help them in that future event. So we set the time, we set the date, so that person, is feeling confident and everything's flowing in that moment for them. I also, program, if they've got, they're wearing a ring or a watch or a bracelet or a crystal, I can even program the energy in the crystal ring or the watch, so that when they're having the interview, for example, all they need to do is just touch the watch or touch the ring or the piece of crystal. So it's a bit like anchoring, what we do in hypnotherapy. So
NLP, yeah, I was just thinking that you create an anchor trigger point to trigger off those good feelings.
Yeah, so it's helping them in that moment, as well as we've programmed the energy to help them in that moment. And also, I often get clients really nervous and anxious and upset about attending a funeral. So again, the same way we program the energy to help them in that moment. And also, list is endless really with other like goals. They might want to, they've set a goal, it could be weight, as well. They set a goal, they want to lose, certain amount of weight by, in 2 or 3 months time. So again, we set the intention, for them to reach that goal, and for stop smoking as well. So I combine it in like the therapy as well. And so yeah, it helps with the outcome, whatever intention they've set, it will help them with the outcome.
Yeah, the intention is like the outcome, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, fascinating. Okay. Well, thanks, Pam, for taking your time out to do this interview. I hope you guys out there found it very interesting. Reiki is another thing that can actually help shift people's emotions, help them unblock, and help them to move forward where they want to go. So psychotherapy versus Reiki, it's a different method, but the outcome's the same. It's the healing process, which helps the client to let go of the baggage, the blockage, in order to move forward. Well, again, thank you, Pam, and thank you guys for watching out there. As I said a moment ago, if you're interested in Reiki, either as a treatment or learning it, Pam's details will be in the description below. Please remember to like the video, share it on Facebook or any other your social media platforms. Click on the subscribe button. As I said before, I will be uploading many more videos on different subjects to do with the mental health and mental well-being. Okay, so again, thanks again, Pam, and thank you everyone for watching. Take care, look after yourself, and remember, be kind to yourself too. Take care.